Kids had good energy, good juice today. It's hard to practice in shorts and a helmet. I think anytime you do that, all you can do is spread the ball out and throw it around, do a lot of 7-on-7, a lot of perimeter force stuff. Hard to really run the ball and judge anything out there. But excited about G-Day. Got the teams divided up, and I think the kids are motivated and excited, and should be a great game. At least I expect it to be that way. I want it to be tight. I'm hoping we can get these two quarterbacks in some 2-minute situations.
Can you explain what the general format of G-Day is going to be?
Yeah, it's very similar to what was last year. We'll have a running clock in the first, second quarter. Last 4 minutes of each half will be played like a normal game with clock stoppage. We will stop the clock on kicking exchanges, scores, injuries, those kind of things. But it'll be a running clock until the last 4 minutes of the half, in which we want the offenses to go 2-minute offense and have to try to score, kind of regardless of what the score is. But that's the format. It's the same as it was last year. It's meant to create high-tempo entertainment, go fast, and get the line and go for both offenses.
And the teams are basically broken up, ones with one, two versus two.
Yes, it's one offense with one defense. They both get a few subs. And then same thing, 2 offense, 2 defense with a few subs. And then special teams, kicking situations won't be live, but we obviously need to kick as much as possible for our kicking game. So we're going to do that part a little different this year, where we have some units that have to go out there and compete good on good, but we're not going to go tackle the returner live.
Will both quarterbacks go with both units? Will we rotate from with both with 2? Or how's that going?
No, it'll be very similar to last year. I mean, as far as where they go, they'll both go with their respective units, and then Sam may go both ways. He may go with both sides. A little bit of it's going to depend on the score. We want to get Sam in the game. He's done a good job. So he may go 1 series with each. He may go 2 series with one or the other, depending on the score in the game.
Saw that Jeb and Ben were at practice today. What is the deal on them, and are you anticipating anybody that may not get to play? Yeah,
their status is still uncertain. They were rehabbing, and don't know if they'll be able to play or not. Don't know if they'll be cleared for the G-Day game.
With the injuries, suppose this is the first time we get you to publicly comment on the new policy you put out Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, big thing for us is we've got some kids that have been injured at practice, and we all know the situation with their parents and some of the parents. Reggie's going to come in and comment for us. Some of the parents got upset with the way that we handled the injury, and really more our fault for not putting the policy in place to not allow comments on injuries from a perspective of an injury that happens while the media is viewing. That's important to keep those kids, that part safe for them. And then the other part is really a big disadvantage in the season for us, for our opponents to know every kid that's injured, every kid that's out, every kid that's not practicing. And when that information gets out to our opponent, it can be a detriment to our team. And I'm trying to protect the team with that information.
When it comes to competitive advantage or disadvantage, would you be in favor of an NFL-like injury report in the SEC?
I think if everybody did it, I think it'd be great. But to say I'm in favor of it or against it, I'm not either way. I just think that obviously puts everybody in the same position. I'm going to know the same thing about whoever we're playing, just like they know about us. I mean, that's why they do it in the NFL. They do it that way because it makes it a little more parity, even across the board.
So you'd be in favor if the league did it?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. I think that it makes things fair, but I'm not sitting here saying I want it by any means.
Is there anybody else you're worried about heading into the G-Day in terms of it's been held out?
Riley's been able to come back pretty good. He practiced today. We thought that Riley was going to be really close, so we're going to see what he can do. D'Angelo was back out there today, did a good job. We hope he'll be able to go. Isaac Notta's been banged up a little bit, but we think Isaac's going to be able to go. So game time decisions for us will probably be Ben and Jeb that I can think of. I mean, besides Roquan and Trenton, obviously.
Do you have the rosters yet, or you shared it?
Yeah, we had the rosters. It was actually supposed to get, I think, released last night, but should be coming out soon.
Will Miko be in Charlie on offense for the game?
Yes, he will. And return game.
Is McCole, is he offense at this point?
Right now, Miko is playing offense more than he's playing defense.
Being able to have Riley back, we weren't sure of that before.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I didn't say he was back. We're trying to get him back. We're trying to get him back. He got some more. What he's done is he started doing non-contact stuff, and then he was able to do a little more in 7-on-7. We're trying to situational football the guy because it's really important he doesn't go through all spring without breaking a huddle, hearing a call, knowing what to do. I think that can set you back when you do that, and we need him from a rep standpoint. I mean, he's one of our better wideouts, so we don't want to put him in any risk of injury, more so than there is already. So we'll see what he's able to do. He may only get to play in some of the 7-on-7 stuff we do before the scrimmage.
When it comes to some of the borderline guys, not 100%, are you more willing to hold them out just so you don't make it worse and it kind of slows down?
Well, it's not. To be honest with you, I leave that up to Ryan Corson because I don't like when you say borderline guys. I mean, is he cleared to play or is he not? And that's ultimately their call because they have a chance to get better. I don't demean the value of this game and say, oh, if that's the case, then why do we play it? You know, we hold everybody out, and it creates a negative for the rest of your team. I've been a part of places that when guys get held out of the scrimmage, it's, well, why is he held out of the scrimmage? You know what I mean? So we obviously make good decisions. We try to structure it so that there's a little less big-time collisions, your kickoff return, your punt return. But obviously if there's a guy that's borderline, questionable, then Ron and his staff make the call on it.
Is Blankenship getting some competition still at kicker?
Yeah, we got a guy out there that Stumps out there kicking with him. But to be honest, we've let Rodrigo kick sometimes with the 1s and 2s to give him more reps. Not to the point of wearing him down because we're not out there kicking that much. But to be honest with you, if we're going to kick a game-winning field goal with a 2-minute drive and it's a 52-yarder, I mean, I'm going to put Rodrigo out there whether it's 1 or 2s. You know, because the other kid has a good leg and he's been consistent, but he just doesn't kick it as far. So I don't know if that answers your question or not. There's not a lot of competition. Yes. Now the other kid's going to kick too, but if it's a situation, I feel like it gives that team the best bet to have Rodrigo, and we're putting Rodrigo out there.
How'd you wind up with?
He in the punter will probably do that too, Chip, because we're probably going to have both those kickers kick on both teams. As a person who always had the first team defense and the second team offense for a career assistant, I felt like I lost a lot of spring games because I had the 2 specialists. So I'm trying to balance that out a little bit and say if all things are equal, then like last year I think we had them split, but it may not be that way this year.
How'd you wind up with Emmanuel Lewis and Chris Tucker?
That's a great question. They're big dog fans. They were excited about the spring game. They talked about coming over for the spring game and wanted to come by practice, and I thought it was a great gesture. They both really good people and kind of fired up our players when they saw them. So it was good to have them over.
Players know who Emmanuel Lewis is.
It's a good question. I did, Webster, but am I a big fan of Webster? Yeah, I mean, I watched the show. I mean, it's my generation. So
Chris Tucker, same thing?
definitely fan of Chris Tucker. One of the funnier guys that I've ever watched and been around. Big fan of his movies.
Oh, this is a big recruiting weekend for you too.
Yeah.
How many kids you gonna have out here?
Hopefully a lot. We got a big list, but you know how it is. We're expecting a lot. We want them to have a good time. You know, I think it's important that they see the energy and atmosphere that we have here at UGA, and that's what they want to come see. So that's the intent of it, and it's really important. We got such a great support staff, recruiting staff, academic staff. There's so many people that go into having a good recruiting weekend, and we're all hands on deck for this one.
Are you confident that everybody's gonna be able who needs see and is gonna be able to get that attention that maybe would naturally want?
Oh yeah, that's our job. I'm confident it'll be done right. That's for sure. I don't know that you can ever give them enough attention, but you give them all you can.
Kirby, when it came to red zone defense, when you guys studied it before spring practice, what were the areas of that led you guys to have the type of results?
Yeah, it was a lot of breakdown in goal line defense more than anything. You know, red zone defense can be one of many things, and whew, were we bad. And we tried to target that this year. And we really emphasize going back to the basics because the sad thing is I've been a part of defenses that called all the same defenses and we're top 5 in the country. So, you know, it's really more about executing what you call, not necessarily changing what you call. Now, you might need to have a new twist in there or a new wrinkle, but a lot of it, we never had a goal line stop. You go back to Ole Miss, we had a couple busts in the red area. I mean, it's like every game, the one thing happened, and you can't pinpoint it on. I mean, you get hardly any turnovers in the red area, no stops for field goals. I mean, that was big. And I thought last year we practiced what we call high red, 20 to 12, more than we should have. And we did a lot more 12 and in this year. So it's low red. and try to target that area. But I can't say I mean, our offense had needed to improve down there too. So it was like both of us needed it. So we went down there a lot.
Talking to Nick Chubb the other day, he said, he was talking about the O-line and said he can kind of hear them get more confident there by the way they're communicating and stuff like that. Where are you in terms of how you feel from practice 1 to practice 14? It seems like you guys have had the same group here for a couple, 2 or 3 weeks now.
Well, I mean, I'm never content or happy with where we are, especially across the board on the offensive line. I think we improved from day 1 to today's 14. We definitely improved in that unit. Pat's gotten better. Have we upgraded from what we had? I don't know that. There's no way to know that. I can't measure that until they get out there in the game and do it. You know, Pat misses some things live sometimes. When Ben went out, it took a hit because we really didn't have as good a twos anymore. So it depleted our depth some with Ben, who was taking good steps in the right direction. But they have a good core group. They play really hard. Being physical is important to them. The biggest difference is the 2 guards have a little more girth to them. They got a little more size. So hopefully that makes a difference for those 2 backs. But I can assure you this, if you can't throw the ball in the SEC, you will struggle to run the ball.
Last question. You're going from sort of 5 weeks in a row where you're able to see the kids every single day, be able to have them under your thumb all the time. What's the next time until the fall going to be like for you?
Yeah, it's phase 3. I mean, it's phase 1 is get back from the bowl game, work out hard, build muscle, get strength, stamina. Phase 2, spring practice. Phase 3 is Maymester for some, chance to go home. For others, it's a chance to stay here, work out, rehab, get stronger, mentally prepared. Obviously, part of phase 3 is bringing in the new signees who will be here soon. But for me or our staff, it's a lot more about recruiting because we go full force recruiting as soon as next week sometime. I think midweek we're going to go out. So we'll be going out recruiting, and I'm not allowed to do that, so I'll be doing in-house stuff, speaking engagements, all the stuff you guys love to come to. Thanks.